Dear students, welcome back to your social science class. In this module, you are going to learn about the business studies, that is unit number 1, banking transaction, second module. In the previous module, you have learned about the meaning of the bank, the functions of the bank and nature of the bank. In this module, we are going to learn about the banks and the post offices in financial transaction and types of banks and the different accounts that can be opened in a bank, methods to open an account in a bank and advantages of bank accounts. So before we proceed into the lesson, dear children, have you observed? Yes, even a roadside vendor nowadays has QR code wherein the amount can be easily transferred to his account. It could be a minimum of 5 rupees or 10 rupees to the maximum extent. Yes, to that extent the dynamic world has changed and we are also into it. Why it is so important? Do you think it is so easily the amount will be credited to his account? Yes, definitely it is possible. The government has come up with so many ideas wherein it wanted the common people to uplift themselves by opening a bank account. Yes, you will get to know at the end of the lesson why it is so important to open a bank account and what are all the importance of opening a bank account. So making a payment, it is making sure that he has a bank account, that in the sense even a common vendor or the roadside seller will have a bank account. You might have heard about the Pradhan Mantri Jana Dhan Yojana. You will not believe, dear students, that nearly 23.68 crores of people have opened a bank account after this Yojana has come in place. Yes, that in the sense the people are not having a bank account, and nowadays it is very much mandatory that every bank account has to be attached with the Aadhaar number. So let us just get into how important the banks and the post offices in financial transactions and types of banks. So any sort of activity involving in money or exchange of money in an account is viewed as bank transaction. Dear children, keep in mind bank is different, banking is different and banking transaction is totally different. Bank is the place just where we exchange the money and banking is the service which is being provided by the bank to its customers, and bank transaction is totally different. We call it as any activity involving in money. Either it could be a debit or it could be a credit. In the sense, it could be a deposit of money or it could be a withdrawal of money or it could be even giving loans to somebody else. So, any activity involving money or exchange of money in an account is viewed as bank transaction. So, banks are the institution that deal with the money. Of course, we are aware of it. So, let us get to know banks keep money of the customers in the form of deposits and the money this bank lend money and collect interest on loans. Yes, we are aware of it. If you are going to deposit 50 lakhs in a bank and that will be lent to so many people who are in need of the money, and thus the interest collected from each person, or it could be the industry or it could be a firm, will be given to the bank with the amount interest or the rate of interest which is being collected by each individual or each borrowers. We call it as the people who has taken the loans, the borrowers. That amount will be repaid to you along with the principal amount wherein you have deposited with the bank. So banking transactions, banks and the post office, how does it get connect and how does it go together? A part of interest collected on loan is given to the depositors as interest. So for example, if it is a savings bank account, it is 2.75% for an individual is being given by the bank. Yes, so this is not the amount which the bank is paying you simply. It has collected from the borrowers, which is being collected in the form of interest on the loans given to them. So this interest forms the income to the depositors as well as for the banks. If the bank is levying 8% of interest, the bank is paying you only 2.75%. Banks invest the customers' money in national and international business and increase their funds. So only in case if a bank is giving a loan to an individual, the rate of interest which is being repaid by him, it would be only 8% or 9%. So to increase the profit, what is the bank doing? The bank is investing the customers' money in nationalized and international business. As we are all well aware that all the banking transactions in India are controlled by the Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI, which is known as the mother of the banks. RBI formulates the monetary policy which should be followed by all the banks which comes under India. Today, we have a state bank group, that is 20 nationalized banks and 21 private banks and 19 foreign banks. So, earlier in the previous module, we have come across like State Bank of Mysore, Canara Bank, Vijaya Bank, etc., which are merged as nationalized banks, that is State Bank of India. So, the network of bank consists of 8,000 bank branches. If we have a headquarters in Delhi or in Maharashtra, the Bank of Maharashtra, probably you would have heard about it, or Bank of Karnataka. Yes, it has branches to provide facilities, to provide services to its customers all over the other places as well as. So, this we call a kind of service which has been provided by the bank. There are rural bank, regional banks, government and private bank also. So, rural banks are most set up to uplift the rural areas, and also regional banks, government banks and private banks. So, the recent development in banking industries, inclusion of post offices into its fold. Nowadays, we know we are not using that much of postal departments. The recent development in banking industry, inclusion of post offices into its fold. Why it is important? Yes, nowadays we know that the usage of post office has been reduced, but we do have post offices in all over the country. So, in earlier also we were using the post offices for the savings bank account, but nowadays you can see that we are into multiple folds of investments in it. So, it includes banking transaction, includes the post offices and postal department as well as. So, the Indian Postal Department is planning to start a bank to be tentatively called, it is not a permanent name, Postal Bank of India, with a network over 1.55 lakh post offices spread all over India. That is 90% of them are in around semi-urban and rural areas. Here it is covering the entire semi-urban as well as rural areas. We are well aware that everywhere, even in the remote village area, we have the postal departments. So, using this, the government has thought to introduce the Postal Bank of India to cover the network easily as well as to start receiving the deposits from the rural area as well as semi-urban areas. The department is already providing various financial, including the post office savings bank account and issue of national serving certificate, Kisan Vikas Patra, especially for the farmers, monthly recurring deposits for the little earnings which is being earned by the small investors, postal life insurance to safeguard the life of the people, pension payment. Even now, the pensions from the government of India are being paid through the postal department only. So, the pension payment or money transfer, etc. So, these are the different kinds of transactions which comes under the post offices, especially that is the Kisan Vikas Patra or the monthly recurring deposit or the postal life insurance, pension payment and money transfer, etc. With this, we got to know that how the banking transaction deals with the post offices. So, let us learn about the different types of banks which provides services to its customer. These are the different types of banks wherein each type of bank is specialized in different types of activities. The important types of banks are Central Bank, it is nothing but the Reserve Bank of India, Commercial Bank, Industrial Development Bank, Land Development Bank. So when we speak about Central Bank of India, it is the mother bank of all the other banks which are in India. According to the norms or the rules and regulations or the monetary policy of Reserve Bank of India, all the other banks has to follow and provide the services to its customers. So commercial banks, for example, it could be ICICI Bank or it could be IDBI Bank, etc., or HDFC banks also, which provides loans not only to the customers, it could be the loans for the smaller banks also. And apart from that, we do have Industrial Development Bank, that is IDB Bank, that is especially provides loans to its customers in the industrial sector, that is IDBI. It could be the Industrial Development Bank of India. Next comes the Land Development Banks. These are the banks, that is LDB, we call it as LDB, Land Development Bank, which is especially provides loans to its customers on the basis of the lands or the documents which are provided to the bank. Apart from the Land Development Bank, we do have the indigenous banks as well as the cooperative banks. In the indigenous banks, we know a particular person or an individual will lend a loan or he will receive the amount in return and kind of mortgage which was in use from the olden days as well as. The cooperative banks is also a kind of bank. You would have heard so many credit cooperative banks. Here, the credit cooperative banks will be the owner of the particular banks. Here, the government or the private sectors will not be having the ownership of the banks. So, now we got to know the different kinds of banks and what are its activities. Let us learn about the types of accounts. Generally, we have 4 kinds of accounts can be opened in a bank, that is savings bank account, current account, recurring deposit account, term or fixed deposit account. Let us learn about each different kinds of account in detail. Savings bank account. So let us learn about the savings bank account. This is a type of account that is generally opened in banks by salaried persons or the persons who have a fixed regular income. For example, if your mother or a father in a family is being salaried by a company or any private firm, or it could be from the government on a particular date, yes, then it is a fixed amount he will be receiving every month on that particular date. Here, the father or the mother of the family or the head of the family will not utilize the complete amount, right? Exactly, dear students. What does the head of the family do? Even it could be a mother or father. After spending it, the certain rate of amount, they'll keep it as a savings. Initially, they used to keep it at home, but nowadays they prefer the bank as even the salary is being paid through the banks. So this facility is also given to the students. It needn't be only the elders. Now we have the students account as well as senior citizens account, pensioners account, etc. So savings account are open to no restriction on number and amount of deposits. Here you can open, it needn't be in only one bank you are supposed to open a savings bank account. You can have multiple savings bank account in different banks, and the savings accounts are open to no restriction and no number of or the amount which you deposit. For example, in case in the mid of month you had some more amount also with you which is left out after the expenditure, again you have a chance to redeposit the amount which you have it, that is excess or the surplus amount after this expenditure. The money can be withdrawn either by check or through a withdrawal slip available in the respective bank. But nowadays, the people, they go with the ATM card, that is debit card, to withdraw the money with the ATM services provided by the bank. Now we have understood like what is the savings bank account. Now we should also know, if at all I am investing certain rate of amount in a bank, what is bank giving back to me? Yes, of course it safeguards your amount for the duration. In case if you want also, it is ready to give it to you. But what is the use for you? Yes, exactly. It is beneficiary for you as well as for the bank. For you, the bank will pay you 2.75% of rate of interest per annum. For example, if you are keeping an amount for an year in a bank, the bank will calculate on the principal amount which you have deposited in the bank. On that, it will calculate 2.75 percentage on the principal amount, and that amount will be given to you as a interest. And again, there is no restriction to withdraw the amount whenever you require it. So, let us learn about the current account. We saw in the savings bank account, even a student can open a bank account, even a senior citizen or any citizen of a country. But what about the current account? Current account is opened only by the businessman who have a large number of regular transactions with the bank. So, it includes deposits, withdrawals and contra transactions. In current account, amount can be deposited or withdrawn any number of times in a day. But you have a limitation also. Nowadays, it is only 20,000 per a day you can withdraw from your account. But whereas when it is a current account, if he is a businessman who is dealing lakhs together, who is dealing with lakhs together, he cannot wait for the next day because he might miss the order or he cannot have the profit in the company. So, what does it do? The bank provides a special kind of account, that is current account, only for the businessman who have a large number of regular transactions with the bank. That is, the transaction he could deposit the money n number of times as well as he can withdraw the money any times in a day. Dear students, here you might get a question. Yes, in the savings bank account, we will get a profit of 2.75% on our savings in the bank. But what about the current account? Here, you will not get any kind of interest since you are not keeping your money for a longer duration of time, and also there is no limitation for the amount which you are depositing as well as withdrawing. So, here the bank will charge an amount as a service charge for the depositor, or it could be the person who is withdrawing it from the bank. So, here bank will charge the service charges to the current account holders, wherein they have to pay along with the withdrawal of the money. The third one is the recurring deposit account. As the name itself defines you very clearly, that is the recurring, in the sense occurring, it is repeating. You are going to deposit the amount. How you are going to deposit the amount and at what rate of interest the bank is repaying you? Let us understand that. So, in this, deposit accounts are generally opened for a purpose to save for a future date. So, here you are not going to withdraw the money immediately or after a certain period of time. So, as the name itself says, the recurring deposit account is generally open for the purpose to be saved for a future date. For example, it could be for the purposes of wedding expenses of a children, or to buy costly items like car or the land, etc., or nowadays even for the education purposes. The future requirements deposits are made regularly on monthly basis. So, here what happens, after the period is over, the total amount is repaid with the interest. For example, if Ram is earning 50,000 and if he agrees to open a recurring bank account, he is supposed to fill in the form that he is going to pay rupees 5,000 every month on so and so date. For how many years? That is also dependent. If he had planned to buy a house or if he had planned to buy a land, after 3 years, he has to increase the depositing amount for so many years. So, what happens? After so many years, it could be 3 years or 5 years or sometimes 10 years also. So, at that time, here the bank will give you the rate of interest a little high when you compare it to the savings bank account. Once the tenure has come to end or once after the period is over. So along with the total amount, because he is not going to withdraw it anymore in between the tenure. But there is a chance again. What happens in case of emergency? You need the amount which you have deposited and you have no savings account at all. So during that time, bank will provide you the amount which you have, but again you have to pay minimum charge which has been charged by the bank as the penalty, since you are not keeping your amount for a longer period of time. Term or fixed deposit account. This type of account is open for a fixed period by depositing a particular sum of money, that is the term of the deposit may be a month, 6 months or 1 year or 10 years. The deposit amount cannot be withdrawn before the expiry of the fixed term. So here, as the name itself says, it is very much clear the term or the fixed month. If you are capable of maintaining it for 1 year, yes, again you can go with the policy for 1 year. If not, definitely you have to make sure that it is only for 6 months or it could be for the 1 month. This type of account is open for a fixed period by depositing a particular sum of money. So here, before the tenure or before the duration, in case if you have agreed to have the fixed deposit account for 2 years, in between you are not supposed to withdraw your money. What is the rate of interest which has been provided by the bank for the fixed account? Here the rate of interest varies to each bank, whereas it is 2.75% to 7.5%. But dear children, keep in mind, for the senior citizens, the rate of interest which is being paid by the bank will be little high, that is 8% per annum. So now we have learned about the 4 important types of account, that is savings account, current account, recurring deposit account and fixed deposit account. So as I have told you in the beginning of this module, even a street vendor will be having a bank account. It is very much essential for everyone. So let us see how important is to have a bank account and what are all the procedures to open a bank account. First of all, you have to decide the type of account which you want to open. We have come across 4 different kinds of account. If you are a monthly salaried person, definitely you can go with the savings bank account as well as the recurring bank account, or it could be the fixed term account depending on the savings or the rate of amount which you are keeping it for the future purposes. So, it is very much important to decide the type of account which you want to open. Secondly, you have to approach the bank of your choice and meet its office. You know, nowadays we have so many different kinds of banks around us. So you have to choose the best bank which provides you good services as well as pays you in return, that is with the rate of interest. So you, after selecting the different kinds of account which you want to open, the next step you have to approach the bank of your choice and meet its offices. Once you meet at its office, what is the next thing? Again, the bank manager will provide you an application to open the bank account. So you need to fill up the bank account form or the proposal form. So while filling the form, you will be given a card to sign. You have to give your specimen signature. In the previous module, you have learnt about the signature guarantee also. Yes, that is applied here. Nobody else can try to copy your signature and get the fund from the bank. So here, along with the application form or the proposal form, you have to give your specimen signature in 2 different kinds, wherein the bank will verify. If that doesn't go with your checks or any other documents, again your financial transaction is cancelled. Along with that, the next step is give reference for the opening your bank. So when you open a bank account, you need to have a reference, that is who has referred you to open a bank account for the safe hand of the bank, so that no other strangers can open a bank. If at all, if the person or the referee is already with the bank can always go back to the referee in case of if the payment is not done by the customers or the money borrowers. Next step, submit the bank account form duly filled. The required details, you need to fill your name and date of birth, and along with that what kind of account you want to open. Even for that, the bank will charge certain rate of interest per annum for the services provided by them. You have to mark if you want SMS services, if you want online transactions, e-banking, etc. You have to carefully go through the bank application form and fill it duly. The next step, once you fill all the details, the officer will verify all the particular submitted. So, when you open a bank account, along with that, in olden days you used to submit only your voter ID as a proof, but now it is mandatory since the government has made that along with the voter ID you are supposed to submit your Aadhaar card as well as. So, the officer will verify the address proof and the identity proof. Along with that, the referee also who has referred you to the bank. So, once everything is done, then the bank will ask you to deposit the initial deposit, that is minimum of 1000 rupees nowadays. So, once everything is done, that is the selection of the type of account, approaching the bank and choosing the bank also, filling the document or the proposal form. Once it is filled, you have to give a reference through whom you are being referred, and then comes the submission of the document along with the address proof and identification proof. And once it is done, the officer will verify your documents provided, and then once you do the initial deposit, the bank account will be created. Earlier it was asked you to go to a bank, but nowadays most of the banks have even come up with e-bank facility to open a bank account. In this lesson, we have discussed so much about the banking transactions and types of account. Now, let us understand what is the advantage of opening a bank account. Bank account facilitates safe custody of money. If you are depositing certain rate of amount with the bank, or if you are investing with the bank, you can assure that the bank will repay you. Yes, so that is a safe custody of money. Bank accounts helps in making payments. Yes, of course, in case if you are not having money, now with the mobile and the laptop or with the help of internet, you can pay the money without having the cash in your hand. So, it helps in the making of payments. Bank account helps in the collection of money. Yes, of course, as it is helpful for the payment, even it is helpful for the collection of the money in cases of receipts or the bills, etc. So, the bank holder gets advance and the loans. If you are an account holder in any bank, again you have a chance to get the advance as well as the loans from the particular bank after submitting the documents which has been requested from the bank. So, along with all these things, the bank helps in smooth financial transactions. Yes, of course, you need not carry the huge amount in your bag and feel unsafe, but it also helps you to have your business transactions, all other financial transactions to run smoothly. So, these are the advantages of opening bank account. It helps to safeguard your money, helps you in making the payments, and also helps in collection of money to get loans, and the last important thing is to smooth financial transactions. Dear students, hope you have understood the concept. Suchitra C, Sri Renuka Education Society, Rajajinagar, Bangalore North. Thank you.